Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Landan with LMR.com. In today's video, we're going to show you how to install inner fender splash shields into a 1979 to 1993 Fox Mustang, as well as talk about the simple trick if the tires are rubbing. Let's get right into it. All right, so today I'm going to be installing a set of our 5.0 Resto inner fender splash shields into our 1993 silver LX hatch. The steps you see in this video can also be used if you're reinstalling OEM splash shields. Now, at the end of the installation, I'm going to explain what you need to do if your tires are rubbing the splash shields. I'll be using our black 85 GT for demonstration purposes with a 17 by 8 inch SVE mesh wheel and 245/45/17 Nitto G2 tire. If you want to know more about the fitment information on Fox body splash shields, please go watch the review video on the 5.0 Resto inner fender splash shields. I go into way more detail about the splash shields themselves and talk about everything you need to know. We'll be starting the video with the splash shields already removed from the car. You can watch our dedicated removal video if you like, and that video is also linked in the description. With the splash shields removed, use this opportunity to clean the inner fender area and any other component that you can't access with the inner fender splash shields in place. Install the provided J-nuts onto the new splash shield. These get positioned onto the 3 provisions that run the outside perimeter of the splash shield. The flat side of the J-nut will face towards the outside, and you'll want to center these over each hole. Position the correct side splash shield into place. Roll the top edge of the splash shield around the outside lip of the fender. You'll also want to verify that the front and rear sections of the splash shield are positioned behind the fender as well. Align the J-nut with the upper screw hole in the fender and loosely thread one of the provided long number 8 screws. Run this screw all the way down, but don't fully tighten. Do this for the frontward and rearward attaching points as well. Now you can align the splash shield with the correct holes for the push pins. There are 4 of these in total. Align the rearwardmost section of the splash shield with the underside of the car. Install 2 of the provided short number 8 screws into place. Now, these holes are slightly oversized for a reason. You'll want to pinch the outer edge of the hole with the screws. Slightly oversizing the holes allow for adjustability. At the very front of the splash shield, there isn't a dedicated spot for the screw. You'll simply eyeball the alignment from where the factory screw hole is and thread one of the short screws through the splash shield. Now you can fully tighten the 3 screws that you first installed. Check over your work and then do the same for the other splash shield. Reinstall the wheels and torque the lug nuts to spec. Carefully lower the car to the ground. Now we need to take a look at the tire to splash shield fitment. These steps are mainly applicable for 79 to 90 cars, but for those of you that own 91 to 93 Foxes, may find value in this as well. You'll first want to gather a few supplies. This includes a heat gun and a few different thicknesses of dense foam, depending on how much clearance is needed. Pick a side to start with and make sure the suspension is loaded, or in other words, the car is resting on the tires. Turn the wheel until it stops in either direction. We're starting on the driver's side and at the front of the splash shield, which is where most clearance issues occur on 1979 to 1990 Mustangs. Check the clearance and determine how much is needed. Carefully heat the plastic with a heat gun. Of course, have a little common sense here and don't get the plastic too hot. Whenever the plastic is warm, insert the dense foam in between the tire and splash shield. We're starting with the thinner piece first. Let this remain in place for several minutes and allow the plastic to take on the new shape. Once roughly 5 minutes have passed, remove the foam and check for clearance. We needed just a little more room, so we've repeated the process and used a thicker piece of foam. Start the car and turn the wheel to lock in the opposite direction. Check the clearance and repeat the same steps that you just did. Just so everyone is aware, the rear area will only have so much clearance as there is a section of body directly behind the splash shield. Whenever you're happy and content with the clearance on one side, repeat these same steps for the other side. And just a friendly reminder, depending on each individual car and the setup, the amount of clearancing will differ from car to car. There will even be scenarios where no additional clearance is needed. After that, you're good to go. As always, we hope this video has provided you with some good know-how and value. That's all we have for you today. So until we catch you in the next one, y'all know what to do. For all things Fox Body, keep it right here with the real enthusiasts, LMR.com.